play is called Our Town. It was written by Thornton Wilder, produced by Teach Drama, and directed by Lisa Masson. In it, you will see Sam Black, Liliana Lorenzo, Zane Chambers, Lily Kowalk, John Nystrom, Karis Dudbornik, and many others. The name of the town is Grover's Corners, New Hampshire, just across the Massachusetts line. Latitude 42 degrees 40 minutes, longitude 70 degrees 37 minutes. The first act shows a day in our town. Today is May 7th, 1901. The time is just before dawn. The sky is beginning to show some streaks of light over the east behind our mountain. Well, I better show you how our town lies. Up there is Main Street. Way back there is the railway station. Tracks go that way. Polish towns across the tracks and some Canuck families. Over there is the Congregational Church. Across the street is the Presbyterian. Methodist and Unitarian are over there. Baptist is down by the river. Catholic Church is over beyond the tracks. Over there is the town hall and post office combined. Jail's in the basement. Brian once made a speech from those very steps over there. Over there is a row of stores. Horse blocks and the hitching post in front of them. First automobile is going to come along in about 5 years. Belong to Banker Cartwright, our richest citizen. He lives in a big white house up on the mountain. Over there is a grocery store, and over there is Mr. Morgan's drugstore. Most everybody in town needs to look into those two stores once a day. Public school's over yonder. High school's still far rural. 8:45 mornings, noon times, and 3 o'clock afternoons, the whole town can hear the yelling and screaming through those schoolyards. This is our doctor's house, Doc Gibbs. Right here's the back door. There's some scenery for those who think they have to have scenery. This right here is Mrs. Gibbs' garden. Corn, peas, beans, polyhops, heliotrope, and a whole lot of burdock. In those days, our newspaper came out twice a week. The Grover's Corners Sentinel. And this here is Edward Webb's house. This is Mrs. Webb's garden. Just like Mrs. Gibbs, only it's got a lot of sunflowers too. Right here is a big butternut tree. Nice town, you know what I mean? Nobody very remarkable ever came out of it as far as we know. The earliest tombstones up on that mountain say 1670 to 1680. There are Grovers and Cartwrights and Gibbses and Herseys. Same names as are around here now. Well, as I said, it's about dawn. The only lights on in town are over in a cottage by the tracks, where a Polish woman has just had twins, and in the Joe Crowell house, where Joe Jr. is getting up so as to deliver the paper, and in the depot where Shorty Hawkins is getting ready to fly the 545 for Boston. Naturally, out in the country, for some time now there have been lights on, what with milkings and so on, but town people sleep late, so another day's begun. There's Doc Gibbs coming down Main Street now, coming back from that baby case. And here's his wife, coming downstairs to make breakfast. Doc Gibbs died in 1930. The new hospital was named after him. But Mrs. Gibbs died first. Long time ago, in fact. She went out to visit her daughter, Rebecca, who married an insurance man in Canton, Ohio, and died there, pneumonia. But her body was brought back here. She's up there in the cemetery now, and the whole mess of Gibbses and Herseys. She was Julia Hersey before she married Doc Gibbs in the Congregational Church over there. In our town, we like to know the facts about everybody. That's Doc Gibbs. He got that call at 1:30 this morning. And here comes Joe Crowell delivering the paper.
Morning, Dr. Gibbs.
Morning, Joe.
Someone been sick, Doc?
Nope, just some twins born over in Polish Town.
You want your paper now?
Yes, I'll take it. Anything serious going on in the world since Wednesday?
Yes, sir. My school teacher, Mrs. Boston's getting married to a fellow over in Concord.
Well, I declare. How do you boys feel about that?
Well, of course, it's none of my business, but I think if someone starts out as a school teacher, they ought to stay one.
How's your knee feeling, Joe?
Fine, Doc. Only 90%. It tells me when it's going to rain.
And what's it telling you today? Gonna rain?
No, sir.
You sure?
Yes, sir.
Me ever made a mistake?
No, sir.
I want to tell you something about that boy, Joe Crowley. Joe was awful smart. Graduated from our high school here, head of his class. So he got a big scholarship to Massachusetts Tech. Graduated head of his class there, too. It was all wrote up in the Boston papers at the time. Going to be a great engineer, Joe was. But the war broke out, and he died in France. All that education for nothing.
Get up, Bessie. What's the matter with you today?
Ah, there's Howie Newsom, delivering the milk.
Morning, Doc.
Morning, Howie.
Somebody sick?
Nope. Pair of twins over at Mrs. Goralski's.
Twins, eh? This town's getting bigger every year.
You gonna rain, Howie?
No, fine, Dad. That'll burn through. Come on, Bessie.
Hello, Bessie. How old is she, Howie?
Going on 17. Bessie's all mixed up about the route ever since the Lockharts stopped taking the court milk every day. She wants to leave them in court just the same. Keeps scolding me the whole trip.
Well, good morning.
Morning, Mrs. Gibbs. Doc's just coming down the street.
Is he? Seems like you're late today.
Yeah, something went wrong with the separator. I don't know what 'twas. Doc?
Howie.
Children, time to get up.
Come on, Bessie.
George, Rebecca. Everything all right there?
Yes, I am Claire. Easy's kittens.
Bacon will be ready in a minute. Sit down and drink your coffee. You can catch a couple hours sleep this morning, can't you?
Mrs. Wentworth's coming out 11. Guess I know what it's about, too. Just let me get what it ought to be.
All told, you won't get more than 3 hours. Frank Gibbs, I don't know what's going to become of you. I do wish I could get you to go away someplace and take a rest. I think it would do you good.
Emily, time to get up! Wally, it's 7 o'clock!
I declare, you've got to speak to George. It seems like something's come over him lately. He's no help to me at all. I can't even get him to cut me some wood.
Is he sassy to you?
No, he just whines. All he thinks about is that baseball. George, Rebecca, you'll be late for school. George!
George, Mr. Sharp.
Yes, Mom?
Don't you hear your mother calling for you? I guess I'll go upstairs and get for wings.
Wally, Emily, you'll be late for school! Wally, you watch yourself good or I'll come up and do it myself!
Mom, what dress shall I wear? Don't make noise. Your father's been out all night, needs his rest. I washed you now, you look gingham for you special.
Mom, I hate that dress.
Oh, hush up with you.
Every day I go to school dressed like a sick turkey.
Now you always look very nice.
Mama, you're just throwing soap at me.
Why, I'll come up there and slap the both of you. That's what I'll do.
We've got a factory in town, too. Hear it? Makes blankets. Cartwrights are making a growing fortune.
Children, now I won't have it. Breakfast is just as good as any other meal and I won't have you grumbling like wolves. It'll stunt your growth, that's a fact. Put away your book, Wally.
Mom, it's 10 o'clock. I don't know about Canada.
You know the rules as well as I do. No books at the table. As for me, I'd rather have my children healthy than bright.
I'm both, Mama. You know I am. I'm the brightest girl in school for my age. I have a wonderful memory.
Eat your breakfast.
I'm right too. I'm looking at my stamp collection.
Well, I'll speak to your father about it when he's rested. It seems to me that 20 cents a week is enough for a boy your age. I declare, I don't know how you spend it all.
Oh, Ma, I got a lot of things to buy.
Strawberry phosphates, that's what you spend it on.
I don't see how Rebecca comes out with so much money. She has more in a dollar.
I've been saving it up gradual.
Well, dear, I think it's a good thing to spend a little, every now and then.
Mama, do you know what I love most in the world? Do you?
Money, eat your breakfast.
Mom, there's Christelle. I gotta hurry.
I don't want any more, I gotta hurry.
Walk fast, but you don't have to run. Wally, pull up your pants at the knee. Stand up straight, Emily.
Tell Miss Foster I sent her my best congratulations. Can you remember that?
Yes, Mom.
You look real nice, Rebecca. Pick up your feet.
Bye.
Here, tick, tick, tick. Come on. Here, tick, tick, tick. No, go away. Go away. Here, tick, tick, tick. Oh, now where did you come from? You don't belong to me. Here, tick, tick, tick. Don't be afraid. Nobody's going to hurt you. Oh, fight, fight, fight. That's all you do. Good morning, Myrtle. How's your cold?
Well, I still get that tickling feeling in my throat. I told Charles I didn't know as I'd go to choir practice tonight. Wouldn't be any use.
Well, have you tried singing over your voice?
Yes, but somehow I can't do that and stay on the key. While I'm resting myself, I thought I'd string some of these beans.
Oh, here. Let me help you. Beans have been good this year.
I've decided to put up 40 quarts if it kills me. The children say they hate them, but I noticed they're able to get them down all winter.
Now, Myrtle, I've got to tell you something. Because if I don't tell somebody, I'll burst.
Why, Julia Gibbs.
Myrtle, did one of those second-hand furniture salesmen from Boston come to see you last Friday?
No.
Well, he called on me. First, I thought he was a patient, wanted to see Dr. Gibbs, and he wormed his way into my parlor, and Myrtle Webb, he offered me $350 for Grandmother Wentworth's highboy, as I'm sitting here.
Why, Julia Gibbs!
He did, that old thing. Why, it was so big, I didn't know where to put it, and I almost gave it to Cousin Hester Wilcox.
Well, you're gonna take it, aren't you?
I don't know.
You don't know. $350. Well, what's come over you?
Well, if I could get the doctor to take the money and go away someplace on a real trip, I'd sell it like that. You know, Myrtle, it's always been the dream of my life to see Paris, France. It sounds crazy, I suppose, but for years, I've been promising myself that if we ever had the chance.
How does the doctor feel about it?
Well, I suppose I'd beat around the bush a little bit. I told him that if I got a legacy, that's the way I put it, I'd make him take me somewhere.
What did he say?
Oh, you know how it is. I haven't heard a serious word out of him since I've known him. No, he says, might make him discontented with Grover's Corners to go traipsing about Europe. Better let well enough alone, he says. Every 2 years, he takes a trip to the battlefields of the Civil War, and that's no treat for anybody, he says.
Well, Mr. Webb just admires the way Dr. Gibbs knows everything about the Civil War. Mr. Webb's in mind to give up Napoleon and move over to the Civil War. Only Dr. Gibbs, being one of the greatest experts in the country, just makes me scared.
It's a fact. Dr. Gibbs is never so happy as when he's at Antietam or Gettysburg. The times, Myrtle. I've walked over those hills, stopping at every bush and pacing it all out like we were going to buy it.
Well, if that second-hand man's really serious about buying it, Julia, you sell it, and then you'll get to see Paris all right. Just keep dropping hints from time to time. That's how I got to see the Atlantic Ocean, you know.
Oh, now I'm sorry I mentioned it. Only it seems to me that once in your life, before you die, you ought to see a country where they don't talk English and they don't even want to.
Ladies, thank you very much. Now we're going to skip a few hours. But first, we want a little more information about the town. Kind of a scientific account, you might say. So I've asked Professor Willard of our state university to sketch in a few details of our past history here. Is Professor Willard here? May I introduce Professor Willard of our state university? A few brief notes, please, Professor. Unfortunately, our time is limited.
Yes, Grover's Corners. Grover's Corners lies on the police station granite of the Appalachian Range. I may say, it is some of the oldest land in the world. We're very proud of that. It also crosses with some Devonian, basalt, and some Mesozoic shale, along with some sandstone outcroppings. But this is all more recent, 200, 300 million years ago. We also have some highly interesting fossils here in Grover's Corners. I may say, unique fossils, found 2 miles out of town in Silas Peckham's cow pasture. You can see these at any time in our State University's museum. That is, at any reasonable time. Would you like me to read some of Professor Gruber's notes on the meteorological situation, marine precipitation, etc.?
Afraid we won't have time for that today, Professor. We might have a few words on the history of man here.
Yes, anthropological data. Early American stock, Cotahuasi tribes, no evidence before the 10th century of this era. Now entirely disappeared. Migration towards the end of the 17th century, English, brachycephalic, blue-eyed stock. Now mostly Slavic Mediterranean.
And the population, Professor?
2,640.
Just a moment, Professor.
The population at the moment is 2,642. Along with the postal district, brings in 507 more. That means it's 3,149. Birth rates, mortality rates, constant. The McPherson's gauge, 6.032.
Thank you very much, Professor. We're all very much obliged to you, I'm sure.
Not at all, sir. Not at all.
Right this way. And thank you again. Now the social and political report. Is Edgar Webb here? Mr. Webb?
He'll be here in a minute. He just cut his hand while he was eating an apple.
Thank you, Mrs. Webb.
Charles, everybody's waiting.
Mr. Webb is publisher and editor of the Grover's Corners Sentinel. That's our local paper now.
Well, I don't have to tell you that we're run here by a board of select men. All men vote at the age of 21. Women vote indirect. We're lower middle class, sprinkling of professional men. 10% illiterate laborers. Politically, we're 86% Republican, 6% Democrat, 4% Socialists, rest indifferent. Religiously, we're 85% Catholic, 12% Protestant, rest indifferent.
And have you any comments, Mr. Webb?
Rather ordinary town, if you ask me. Rather better behaved than most, but probably a lot duller. Our young people here seem to like it well enough. 90% of them graduating from high school settle down right here to live, even after they've been away to college.
Now, is there anyone in the audience who'd like to ask Miss Webb anything about the town?
Is there much drinking in Grover's Corners?
Well, ma'am, I don't know what you'd call much. Saturday nights, the farmhands go down to Ellery Greeno's stable and holler some. We've got 1 or 2 town drunks, but they're always having remorses every time an evangelist comes to town. No, ma'am, liquor ain't a regular thing in the house here, except in the medicine chest. Right good for snake bites, you know. Always was.
Is there no one in town aware
Come
of?
forward, will you, where we can all hear you?
Is there no one in town aware of social injustices and industrial inequality?
Oh yes, everybody is. Something awful. It appears like they spend most of their time talking about who's rich and who's poor.
Then why don't they do something about it?
Well, I don't know. I guess we're all hunting for the way the diligent and sensible can rise to the top, and the lazy and quarrelsome can sink to the bottom. But it ain't easy to find. Meanwhile, we help those who can't help themselves, and those that can, we leave alone. Are there any other questions?
Oh, Miss Webb, is there any culture about the beauty in Grover's Corners?
Well, ma'am, there ain't much. Come to think of it, there's some girls that play piano at high school commencement. But they ain't happy about it. But I suppose this is the place to tell you that we like things of a kind here. We like the sun coming up over the mountain in the morning, and we all notice a good deal about the birds. Yes, we pay a lot of attention to them. And we all notice the change of the seasons. Yes, everybody knows about them. But those other things, ma'am, no, there ain't much. Robinson Crusoe, the Bible, and Handel's Largo. Oh, and Whistler's Mother. But that's just about as far as we go.
So I thought. Thank you, Miss Webb.
Thank you, Mr. Webb. Now we'll go back to the town. It's early afternoon. All 2,642 have had their dinners, and all the dishes have been washed. There's an early afternoon calm in our town, a humming and a buzzing from school buildings, the horses dozing at the hitching posts, only a few buggies on Main Street. You all remember what it was like. Duffy is up in his office, tapping people and making them say, ah. Mr. Webb over here is cutting his lawn. One man in 10 thinks it's a privilege to push his own lawnmower. No, sir, it's later than I thought. There are the children coming home from school already.
I can't, Lois. I have to go home and help my mother. I promised.
Emily, walk simply. Who do you think you are today?
Oh, Papa, you're terrible. One minute you tell me to stand up straight, and the next minute you call me names. I just don't listen to you.
Golly, I never got a kiss from such a great lady before.
Excuse me, Mrs. Forrest. Go out and play in the fields, young man. You have no business playing baseball on Main Street.
Awfully sorry, Mrs. Forrest. Hello, Emily.
Hello.
You made a fine speech in class.
Well, I was really ready to make a speech about the Monroe Doctrine, but at the last minute, Miss Corcoran made me talk about the Louisiana Purchase instead. I worked an awful long time on both of them.
Gee, it's funny, Emily. From my window up there, I can just see your head nights when you're doing homework over in your room.
Why? Can you?
You certainly do stick to it. I don't see how you can sit still that long. I guess you like school.
Well, I always feel it's something you have to go through.
Yeah,
I don't mind it really. It passes the time.
yeah. Emily, what do you think? We might work out a kind of telegraph from your window to mine, and every once in a while, you could give me a kind of hint or two on one of those algebra problems. And now I don't mean the answers, no, of course not. Just some little hint.
Well, I think hints are allowed. So, if you get stuck, George, you listen to me and I'll give you some hints.
Emily, you're just naturally bright, I guess.
I figure it's just the way a person's born.
Yeah, but you see, I want to be a farmer, and my Uncle Luke says whenever I'm ready, I can come work on his farm. And if I'm any good, I can just gradually have it.
You mean the house and everything?
Yeah. Well, I better be getting out to the baseball field. Thanks for the talk, Emily. Good afternoon, Mrs. Gill.
Good afternoon, George.
So long, Emily.
So long, George.
Emily, come and help me string these beans for the winter. George Gibbs let himself have a real conversation, didn't he? Why, he's growing up. How old would George be?
I don't know.
Let's see, he must be almost 16.
Mama, I made a speech in class today, and it was very good.
You must recite it to your father at supper. What was it about?
The Louisiana Purchase. It was like silk off to school. I'm going to make speeches all my life.
Oh, try and get this a little bigger if you can.
Mama, will you answer me a question? Serious?
Seriously, dear, not serious.
Seriously. Will you?
Of course I will.
Mama, am I good looking?
Yes, all of my children have got good features. I'd be ashamed if they hadn't.
That's not what I mean. What I mean is, am I pretty?
I've already told you yes. Now that's enough of that. You have a nice, young, pretty face. I never heard of such foolishness.
Oh, Mama, you never tell us the truth about anything.
I am telling you.
But, Mama, were you pretty?
Yes, I was. If I do say it, I was the prettiest girl in town, next to Mamie Cartwright.
But, Mama, you've got to say something about me. Am I pretty enough to get anybody, to get people interested in me?
Emily, you make me tired. Now stop it. You're pretty enough for all normal purposes. Come along now and bring that bowl with you.
Oh, Mama, you're no fault at all.
Thank you very much, ladies. Now I have to interrupt you here. You see, there are some more things I want to explore about this town. I think now is a good time to tell you that the Cartwright interests have just begun building the bank in Grover's Corners. Had to go to Vermont for marble, sorry to say. And they've asked a friend of mine what they should put in the cornerstone for people to dig up 1,000 years from now. They put in a copy of the New York Times and a copy of Miss Webb's Sentinel. We're kind of interested in this because some scientific fellows have found a way of painting all that reading matter up with blue. A silicate blue that'll make it keep 1,000, 2,000 years. They put in a Bible and the Constitution of the United States and a copy of William Shakespeare's plays. What do you say, folks? What do you think? You know, Babylon once had 2 million people in it, and all we know about them is the names of the kings and some copies of wheat contracts, and contracts for the sale of slaves. Yet every night, all those families sat down to supper, and the father came home from his work, and the smoke went up the chimney. Same as here. And even in Greece and Rome, all we know about the real life of people is what we can piece together out of the joking poems and comedies that they wrote for the theater back then. So I'm going to have a copy of this play put in Cornerstone, so that people 1,000 years from now know a few simple facts about us. More than the Treaty of Versailles and Lindbergh flag. See what I mean? So, people 1,000 years from now, this is the way we were in the provinces north of New York at the beginning of the 20th century. This is the way we were in our growing up, and in our marrying, and in our living, and in our dying. Well, a good deal of time's gone by. It's evening. You can hear choir practice going on in the Congregational Church. The children are at home doing their schoolwork. The day is running down like a tired clock.
Now look here, everybody. Music came into the world to give us pleasure. Softer. Softer. You ain't out of your heads that music's only good when it's loud. We have the loudest of methods. You can even beat them if you want.
Isn't that moonlight terrible? And choir practice going on. I think if you hold your breath, you'll hear the train all the way to Contacot. Hear it?
What do you know?
You need any hints?
Yeah, did you get the third problem?
Which?
The third?
Why, yes, George. That's the easiest of them all.
I don't see it. Can you give me a hint?
I'll tell you one thing. The answer's in yards.
In yards? How do you mean?
In square yards.
Oh, in square yards.
Yes, George, don't you see?
Yeah.
In square yards of wallpaper.
Wallpaper. Oh, I see. Thanks a lot, Emily.
You're welcome. Well, I better go
night, Emily, and thanks.
Good night, George.
Oh, before I forget, how many of you will be able to come into Fred Harsley's wedding? Show your hands. That'll be good. That'll be right next. We'll do the same as we did for James Trovers. Now we'll do art gallery, art gallery. It's a question, ladies and gentlemen. Make it talk. Ready?
George, can you come down a minute?
Yes, Bob?
Make yourself comfortable. I'll only give you a minute. George, how old are you?
I'm 16, almost 17.
What are you wanting to do after school's over?
Why, you know, Bob, I want to be a farmer on Uncle Luke's farm.
And you'll be willing, will you? To get up early and milk and feed the stock, and you'll be able to hoe and hay all day.
Well, sure I will. What do you mean, Bob?
Well, George, I was in my office this morning and I heard a very strange noise. What do you think it was? It was your mother chopping wood. There you see your mother getting up early, cooking meals all day, washing and ironing, and yet she still has to go out in the back and chop wood. I guess she just got tired of asking you, so she decided to do it herself. And you eat her meals and put on the clothes she keeps nice for you, and yet you still go out and play baseball, like she's some hired maid that we keep around the house, and that we don't like very much. There. You know, all I had to do was grab your attention to it. Here's an handkerchief, son. Now, George, I've decided to raise you spending money 25 cents a week. Not because of you chopping wood for your mother, because that's a gift you give her. But because you are getting older, and I imagine there are plenty of things you'll find to do with it.
Thanks, Bob.
Now let's see. Tomorrow's your payday. We can count on that. Wonder what's keeping your mother. Car practice was never as late as this before.
It's only 8:30, Bob.
I don't even know why she's in that old choir. Between you and me, she hasn't any more of a voice than an old crow. Traipsing around the street at this hour of the night. It's about time you retired, don't you think?
Yes, Bob.
Good night, Mr. Foster. Good night, Martha. I'll tell Mr. Webb. I'll know he'll want to put it in the paper.
Mine's late. Good night, Irma. Real nice choir practice, wasn't it? Myrtle weather. Look at that moon, will you? Potato weather for sure.
Naturally, I didn't want to say a word about it in front of those others, but now we're alone. Really, it's the worst scandal ever was in this town.
What?
Simon Stimson.
Now, Luella.
But Julia, to have the organist of the church drink and drunk year after year, you know he was drunk tonight.
Now, we all know about Mr. Stimson, and we all know about the troubles he's been through. And Dr. Ferguson knows too. And if Dr. Ferguson keeps him up there in his job, well, the only thing the rest of us can do is just not to notice it.
Not to notice it, but it's getting worse.
No, it isn't, Luella. It's getting better. I've been in that choir twice as long as you have, and it doesn't happen anywhere near so often. My, I hate to go to bed on a night like this. I'd better hurry. Those children will be up, sitting up till all hours. Good night.
Can you get home safe, Luella?
It's as bright as day. I can see Mr. Soames scowling out the window now. You think we've been to a dance the way the men folk carry on?
Well, we had a real good time.
You're late enough.
Why, Frank, it ain't any later than usual.
When you stopping at the corner to gossip with the water pennies.
Oh, Frank, don't be grouchy. Come out, smell the village open moonlight. Isn't that wonderful? What did you do all the time I was away?
Oh, I read, as usual. So what were the girls gossiping about tonight?
Well, believe me, Frank, there is something to gossip about.
Simon Stimson, far gone was he?
Worst I've ever seen him. How will that end, Frank? Dr. Ferguson can't forgive him forever.
I guess I know more about Simon Stimson's affairs than anybody else in this town. Some people ain't made for small town life. How that'll end, Julia? I don't know. But there's nothing we can do about it, so it's best we just leave it alone. Come get in.
No, not yet, Frank. I'm worried about you.
What are you worried about?
Well, I think it's my duty to make sure you get away, get a real rest and change. And if I get that legacy, well, I'm going to insist on it.
No, Julia, there's no sense in going over that again.
Frank, you're just unreasonable.
No, come on, it's getting late. First thing you know, you'll catch a cold. Oh, I gave George a piece of my mind tonight. I reckon you'll have your wood chopped for a while anyway. No, I'm ready to go upstairs.
Oh dear, there's always so much that needs to be picked up, seems like. You know, Frank, this Fairchild locks the front doors every night. All those people in that part of town do.
They're all being citified. That's the trouble with them. They've got nothing but to burrow, and everyone knows it.
Get out, Rebecca. There's only room for one at this window. You're always spoiling it.
Just let me look a minute.
Use your own window.
I did. There's no moon there. George, do you know what I think, do you? I think that the moon's getting nearer and nearer. Oh, and there'll be a big explosion.
Rebecca, you don't know anything. If the moon were getting near, those people that will sit up all night with telescopes would see it first, and they'd tell about it. And it'd be in all the newspapers.
George, is the moon shining on South America, Canada, and half the whole world?
Well, probably is.
9:30. Most of the lights are out. No, there's Constable Warren trying to keep doors on Main Street. And here comes Editor Webb, after putting his newspaper together.
Good evening, Bill.
Evening, Mr. Webb.
White moon.
Yep.
All quiet tonight?
Simon Stimson is rolling around a little. Saw his wife moving out one way to hunt for him, so I went the other. Why, there he is now.
Good evening, Simon. Town seemed to have settled down pretty well for the night. Yes, good evening, Simon. Town seemed to have settled down pretty well for the night, so I guess we should too. Mind if I walk a long ways with you? Good night.
I don't know how that's going to end, Mr. Webb.
Well, he's seen a peck of trouble. One thing after another. Oh, Bill, if you see my boy smoking cigarettes, give him a word, will you? He thinks a lot of you, Bill.
I don't think he smokes no cigarettes, Mr. Webb. Leastways, not more than 2 or 3 a year.
I hope not. Well, good night, Bill.
Good night, Mr. Webb.
Who's that up there? Is that you, Myrtle?
No, it's me, Papa.
Why aren't you in bed?
I don't know. I just can't sleep yet. The moonlight's so wonderful. And Mrs. gives heliotrope. Can you smell it?
Yes. Haven't any troubles on your mind, have you, Emily?
Troubles, Papa? No.
Well, good night. Don't let your mother catch you.
Good night, Papa.
I never told you about that letter Jane Crawford got from her minister when she was sick. He wrote Jane a letter, and on the envelope, the address was like this. It said, Jane Crawford, the Crawford Farm, Grover's Corners, Sutton County, New Hampshire, United States of America.
What's funny about that?
Listen, it's not finished. United States of America, continent of North America, Western Hemisphere, the Earth, the solar system, the universe, the mind of God.
What do you know?
You know about it just the same.
What do you know?
That's the end of the first act, folks. You can stretch your legs now, if you need. gone live, friends. Yes, the sun's come up over 1,000 times. Summers and winters have cracked the mountain a little bit, and the rains have brought down some of the dirt. Some babies who weren't even born before have begun talking regular sentences already, and a number of people who thought they were right young and spry have noticed that they can't quite bound up flight of stairs like they used to without their heart fluttering a little bit. All that can happen in 1,000 days. Nature's been pushing and contriving in other ways, too. A number of young people fell in love and got married. Yes, the mountain drop did weigh a few fractions of an inch. Millions of gallons of water went by the mill, and here and there, a new home was set up under a roof. Almost everybody gets married, you know what I mean? In our town, there are hardly any exceptions. Almost everybody climbs into their graves married. The first act is called daily life. This act is called love and marriage. There's another act coming after this. I reckon you can guess what that's about. So, it's 3 years later. It's 1904. It's July 7th, just after high school commencement. That's the time most of our young people jump up and get married. As soon as they pass their last examinations in solid geometry and Cicero's orations, looks like they suddenly feel themselves fit to be married. It's early morning. Only this time, it's been raining. It's been thundering and pouring. Mrs. Gibbs' garden and Mrs. Webb's here, drenched. All those bean poles and pea vines, drenched. All yesterday on Main Street looked like curtains being blown along. They begin in any minute. There, you can hear the 5:45 for Boston. And here comes Mrs. Gibbs and Mrs. Webb, come downstairs to make breakfast, as over any ordinary day. I don't have to point out to the women in my audience that these ladies I see before them, both of these ladies, cooked 3 meals a day. One of them for 20 years and the other for 40, and no summer vacation. They've washed, cleaned the house, raised 2 children apiece, and never a nervous breakdown. It's like what one of those Middle West poets said. You've got to love life to have life, and you've got to have life to love life. It's what they call a vicious circle.
Get up, Bessie.
Ah, there's Howie Newsom, delivering milk. And here comes Cy Crowell, delivering the papers like his brother before him.
Morning, Howie.
Morning, Cy. Anything in the papers out to know?
Yep. George Gibbs. He's quitting baseball.
That's too bad. He was a good baseball player.
He could hit and run bases, too.
Yeah, he was real good. Whoa, Bessie. I guess I can stop and talk if I don't mind to.
I don't see how someone could give up a thing like that and just get married. Would you, Howie?
Can't tell, Cy. Never had no talent that way. You're up early, Bill.
Seeing what I can do to stop the flood. River's been rising all night.
Cy Crowell's all worked up here about George Gibbs' retiring from baseball.
Yes, sir, that's the way it goes. Back in '84, we had a player sign. Even George Gibbs couldn't touch him. Then Hank Todd went down to Maine and Jim Carson. Well, I'll be. How's the weather looking?
Oh, it ain't bad. I think maybe it'll clear up for good.
Oh, good morning, Howie. Think it's going to rain again today?
Morning, Mrs. Gibbs. It rained so heavy, I think maybe it'll clear up.
Certainly hope it will.
How much did you want today?
Well, Howie, I'm going to have a house full of relations. Seems to me like I'll need 3 of milk and 2 of cream.
My wife says to tell you is how we both hope will be very happy, Mrs. Gibbs, and know they will.
Thanks a lot, Howie. Tell your wife I hope she gets to be there at the wedding.
Yeah, she'll be there. She'll be there if she can. Good morning, Mrs. Webb.
Good morning, Mr. Newsom. I know I told you 4 quarts of milk, but I hope you could spare me another.
Yes, sir. And the 2 of cream?
Thank you. Will it start raining again, Mr. Newsom?
Well, just saying to Mrs. Gibbs is how it may lighten up. Mrs. Newsom told me to tell you is how we both hope will be very happy, Mrs. Webb. No, they will.
Thank you, and thank Mrs. Newsom. And we're counting on seeing you at the wedding.
Yeah, we hope to get there, Mrs. Webb. Couldn't miss that. Come on, Bessie.
Well, Ma, the day's come. You're losing one of your chicks.
Frank Gibbs, don't say another word. I feel like crying every minute. Sit down and drink your coffee.
Your groom's upstairs shaving himself. Only, there There ain't a whole lot to shake. Whistling and singing, like he's glad to leave us. Every now and then, he says, "I do," to that mirror. But it don't sound very convincing to me.
Oh, Frank, I don't know how we'll get along. I have branches closed and seen to it to put warm things on. Oh, Frank, they're too young, and we won't think of such things. They'll catch us death of a cold within a week.
I was remembering my wedding morning, Julia.
You don't start that, Frank,
I was the scariest young fellow in the state of New Hampshire. I thought I'd make a mistake for sure. But when I saw you coming down that aisle, I thought you were the prettiest girl I'd ever seen. The only trouble was, I hadn't seen you before. Here I was in a congregational church, marrying a total stranger.
How do you think I felt? Frank, weddings are perfectly awful things. Farces, that's what they are. Here, I made something for you.
Why, Julia Erskine, French toast.
Oh, it ain't very hard to make. And I had to do something.
How'd you sleep last night, Julia?
Well, I heard a lot of the hours struck off.
Yes. I get the shock every time I think about George setting out to be a family man. The great gangling thing. I tell you, Julia, there's nothing so terrifying in the world as a son. The relation between father and son is just the darnest, awkwardest.
Well, mother and daughter's no picnic either, let me tell you.
They'll have their own troubles, I suppose. But that's none of our business. Everybody has a right to their own troubles.
People were meant to go through life 2 by 2. They now should be lonesome.
You know one of the things that I was scared of when I married you?
Oh, go along with you.
I thought we wouldn't have any material for conversation. More than last us a few weeks. I thought we would be eating and just not even speaking to each other. Well, we've been conversing for 20 years now. I haven't had any noticeable barren spells.
Well, good weather, bad weather. Great choice, but I always find something to say. Say, did you hear Rebecca stirring around those stairs?
Nope. The only time of the year Rebecca has been managing everybody else's business up there. She's hiding in her room. I got the impression she's crying.
Safe. It has got to stop. Rebecca! Rebecca, come and get your breakfast.
Good morning, everybody. Only 5 more hours to live.
George Gibbs, where do you think you're going?
Just stepping across the grass to see my grandma.
Put your overshoes on. It's raining torrents out there.
Oh, Ma, it's just a stab.
You'll catch your death of a cold and cough all through the service.
Now, George, listen to your mother.
We're going tomorrow on. You can kill yourself, then I'll let it. But while you're living in this house, you'll live wisely. Thank you. Maybe Miss Webster used to call her in the morning. Here, take a cup of coffee first.
I'll be back in a minute. Hello, Mother Love.
For goodness, you frightened me. Now, George, you can come in a minute otherwise, but you know I can't ask you in.
Why not?
You know as well as I do. The groom can't see his bride on his wedding day, not before he sees her in church.
Oh, that's just a superstition. Good morning, Mr. Webb.
Good morning, George.
How is Emily?
She hasn't waked up yet.
Emily's asleep?
No wonder. We were up till all hours sewing and packing. Now I'll tell you what I'll do. You sit here with Mr. Webb and drink this cup of coffee. And I'll go upstairs and see she doesn't come down to surprise you. There's the bacon too, but don't be long about it.
Well, how are you, George?
Oh, fine. I'm fine. Mr. Webb, what sense could there be in a superstition like that?
There's a lot of common sense in some superstitions, George. But I think it's because that girls are apt to be a mite nervous on their wedding day. Don't you think that's it?
Yes. I never thought of that.
Their minds are probably full of clothes and one thing or another on their wedding day.
I wish a fellow could get married without all that marching up and down.
Well, George, it's the women folk who built up weddings, my boy. For a while, they have it all on their own. It's, a man looks right small at a wedding, my boy. Don't you forget that.
No, sir. And Mr. Webb, how old were you when you got married?
Well, you see, I'd been away to college, and I'd settled down a little. Miss Webb wasn't much older than Emily is now. Oh, age hasn't much to do with it, George. Not compared with other things.
What were you going to say, Mr. Webb?
Was I going to say something? George, I was thinking the other night of some advice my father gave me when I got married. Charles, he said, Charles, make sure to start off by showing who's boss. Give an order, even if it don't make much sense. Just so she'll learn to obey. And if anything about your wife irritates you, or conversation, or anything, just get up and leave the house. And never, never let your wife know how much money you have. Never.
Well, Mr. Webb, I don't think I could.
So I took the opposite of my father's advice, and I've been happy ever since. And let that be a lesson to you, George. Never to ask advice on personal matters. Are you going to raise chickens on your farm, George?
What?
Are you going to raise chickens on your farm?
Oh, well, Uncle Luke's never been much interested, but I thought...
A book came in my office the other day on Philo's system of raising chickens. I want you to read it. I'm thinking about starting a small one, with an incubator in the cellar.
Charles, are you talking about that old incubator again?
Well, if you want to give the boys some good advice, I'll go upstairs and leave you alone with them.
George, Emily's got to come up, down and eat her breakfast. She sent you her love letters. She doesn't want to lay eyes on you. Goodbye.
Bye.
Well, Myrtle, I guess you don't know about that older superstition.
What do you mean, Charles?
Since the cave, no bridegroom should see his father-in-law on the day of the wedding or near it. Now remember that.
Thank you very much, Mr. Webb. I have to interrupt you. You see, we want to know how all this began. This wedding. This plan to spend a lifetime together. I'm often interested in how big things like that begin. You know how it is. You're 21 or 22, and you make some decisions, then wish you're 70. You've been a lawyer for 50 years, and that white-haired lady at your side has eaten over 50,000 meals with you. How do such things begin? George and Emily are going to show you now the conversation they had when they first knew that, well, as the saying goes, that they were meant for one another. But before they do it, I want you to try and remember what it was like to have been very young, and particularly the days when you were first in love, when you were like a person sleepwalking, and you didn't quite see the street you were on, and you didn't quite hear everything that was said to you. You're just a little bit crazy. Will you remember that, please? Now, you'll be coming out of high school at 3 o'clock. George has just been elected president of the junior class, and as it's June, that means he'll be president of the senior class all next year. And Emily has just been elected secretary and treasurer. I don't have to tell you how important that is. Yep, there they are. Come down Main Street now.
I can't, Louise. I have to go home. Goodbye. Oh, Ernestine, can't you come over tonight and do Latin? Isn't that just the worst thing? Tell your mother you have to. Goodbye. Goodbye, Ellen. Goodbye, Fred.
Can I bring the books home for you, Emily?
Oh, it isn't far. Thank you.
Excuse me a minute, Emily. Say, Bob, if I'm a little late, start practice anyway. And give Herb some long high ones.
Goodbye, Lizzie.
Goodbye, Lizzie. I'm awfully glad you were elected, too, Emily.
Thank you.
Emily, why are you mad at me?
I'm not mad at you.
You've been treating me so funny lately.
Well, since you asked me, I might as well say it right out. George. Goodbye, Mrs. Corcoran.
Goodbye, Mrs. Corcoran. What is it?
George, I don't like the whole change that's come over me the last year. I'm sorry if that hurts your feelings, but I've got to tell the truth and shame Dad.
A change? What do you mean?
Well, up to a year ago, I used to like you a lot. And I used to watch you as you did everything, because we've been friends so long. And then you started spending all your time at baseball. And you never stopped to speak to anyone anymore. Not even your own family members. And George, is a fact. You've gotten awful conceited and stuck up. And all the girls say so. They may not say so to your face, but that's what they say about you behind your back. And it hurts me to hear them say it, but I've got to agree with them a little. I'm sorry if it hurts your feelings, but I can't be sorry I said it.
I'm glad you said it, Emily. I never thought that such a thing was happening to me. I guess it's hard for a fellow not to have faults creep into his character.
I always expect a man to be perfect, and I think he should be.
Oh. Well, I don't think it's possible to be perfect, Emily.
Well, my father is, and as far as I can see, your father is. So there's no reason on earth why you shouldn't be too.
Well, I feel it's the other way around. That men aren't naturally good, but girls are.
Oh. Well, you might as well know right now that I'm not perfect. It's not as easy for a girl to be as perfect as a man. We girls are more nervous. And now I'm sorry I said all that about you. I don't know what made me say it. Suddenly, you see, it's not the truth at all, and it isn't very important anyway.
Emily,
Yes, George?
would you like an ice cream soda or something before you go home?
Well, thank you. I would.
Hello, Mr. Morgan.
Hello, George. Hello, Emily. What can I do first? Why, Emily Webb? What you been crying about?
She just got an awful scare, Mr. Morgan. Almost got run over by that hardware store wagon. Everybody says Tom Hawkins drives like a crazy man.
Of course. Here, you have a drink of water and eat. I tell you, you gotta look both ways before you cross Main Street nowadays. It's worse every year. What do you have?
I'll take a strawberry phosphate. Thank you, Mr. Morgan.
And no, have an ice cream soda with me. 2 strawberry ice cream sodas, Mr. Morgan.
2 strawberry ice cream sodas? Yes, sir. Yes, sir. There are 125 horses in Grover's Corners this minute that I'm speaking to you. State inspector was just in here yesterday, and now they're bringing in these automobiles. The best thing to do is just stay home. I can remember a day when the dog fell asleep in the middle of Main Street, and nothing came along to disturb it. Well, there they are. Enjoy them. Yes, Mrs. Us, what can I do?
They're so expensive.
No, don't you think of that. We're celebrating our election. And then, do you know what else I'm celebrating?
No.
I'm celebrating because I've got a friend who tells me all the things that ought to be
Oh,
told.
George, please don't think that. It's not true. You're...
No, Emily, you stick to it. I'm glad you spoke to me like you did. But you'll see, I'm going to change so quick, you bet I'm going to change. And, Emily, can I ask you a favor?
Yes, George?
If I go away to State Agriculture College next year, will you write me a letter every once in a while?
I certainly will. I certainly will, George. It certainly seems like being away for 3 whole years, you'd get out of touch with things. Maybe letters from Grover's Corners wouldn't be so interesting after a while. Grover's Corners really isn't that important when you think of all of New Hampshire. But I think it's a very nice town.
The day wouldn't come when I wouldn't want to know everything that's happening here. I know that's true, Emily.
Well, I'll try to make my letters interesting.
You know, whenever I meet a farmer, I ask him if he thinks it's important to go to agriculture college to be a good farmer.
Why, George?
Yeah, and some of them even say it's a waste of time. You get all those things, you see, out of the pamphlets the government sends out. And Uncle Luke's getting old. He'd have me taking in his farm tomorrow if I could.
My.
And like you say, being gone all that time in other places and meeting other people, gosh, if anything like that can happen, I don't want to go away. I guess new people aren't any better than the old ones. I'll bet they almost never are. Emily, I feel that you're as good a friend as I've got. I don't need to go meet the people in other towns.
But, George, maybe it's very important for you to go and learn all that about cattle judging and soils and those things. Of course, I don't know.
Emily, I'm going to make up my mind right now. I won't go. I'll tell Pa about it tonight.
Well, George, I don't see why you have to make up your mind right now. It's a whole year away.
Emily, I'm glad you spoke to me about faults in my character. What you said was right, but there was one thing wrong in it. And that was when you said that for a whole year I wasn't noticing people. And you, for instance. Why, you said you were watching me as I did everything. I was doing the same about you all the time. Well, sure, I always thought about you as one of the chief people I think about. I always made sure where you were sitting on the bleachers and who you were with. And for 3 days now, I've been trying to walk you home. But something's always gotten in the way. Yesterday, I was standing over against the wall waiting for you, and you walked home with Miss Porter.
George, life's awful funny. Why, I thought...
Emily, I'm going to tell you why I'm not going to agriculture college. I feel that once you've found someone that you're very fond of, and I mean someone who's fond of you too, and likes you enough to be interested in your character, well, I feel that that's as important as college is, and even more so. That's what I think.
I think it's pretty important, too.
Emily, if I do improve and make a big change, would you be, could you be...
I am now. I always have been.
So I guess this is an important talk we've been having.
Yes. Yes.
Oh, wait just a minute, and I'll walk you home. Mr. Morgan, I'll have to go home to get you the money to pay for this.
What's that? George Gibbs, do you mean to tell me?
Yes, but I had reasons, Mr. Morgan. Look, here's my gold watch to keep until I come back with the money.
That's all right, George. Keep your watch. I'll trust you.
I'll be back in 5 minutes.
I'll trust you 10 years, George. Not a day over. You got all of your shopping.
Oh, yes, thank you, Mr. Morgan.
I'm ready.
Well, now we're ready to get on with the wedding. There are a lot of things to be said about the wedding. There are a lot of thoughts that go into the wedding. We can't get them all into one wedding naturally, and especially not into wedding at Grover's Corners, where they're awfully plain and short. In this wedding, I play the minister. That gives me the right to say a few more things about it. For a while now, the play gets pretty serious. You see, some churches say that marriage is a sacrament. I'm not quite sure what that means, but I can guess. It's like what Mrs. Gibbs said a few minutes ago. People were made to go through life 2 by 2. This is a good way, but people are so put together that even at a good way, there's bound to be a lot of confusion way down in people's minds. And I thought that ought to be in our play as well. The real hero of the scene isn't on the stage at all, and I think we all know that. It's like one of those European films said. Every child is born into the world is nature's attempts to make a perfect human being. Well, we've seen nature pushing and trying for some time now. We all know that nature's interested in quantity, but I believe she's interested in quality as well. That's why I'm in the ministry. And let's not forget all the other witnesses at this wedding, the ancestors, millions of them. Most of them set up in 2 by 2 as well. Millions of them. Well, that's all my sermon. It wasn't very long anyway.
I don't know why on earth I should be crying. I suppose there's nothing to cry about. It all came over me this morning at breakfast. There was Emily eating her breakfast as she's done every day for 17 years. And now she's going off to eat it in someone else's house. I suppose that's it. And Emily, she suddenly said, I can't eat another bite. And she put her head down on the table and she cried. Oh, I've got to say, you know, there's something downright cruel about sending our girls off into marriage this way. I hope her girlfriends have told her a thing or two. It's cruel, I know, but I couldn't bring myself to say anything. I went into it blind as a bat myself. You know, the whole world's wrong. That's what's the matter. There they come.
George, Mom, I'm scared to death.
George, what's the matter?
Ma, I don't want to grow old. Why is everybody pushing me so?
Why, George, you wanted it.
No, Ma, listen to me.
No, George. You're a man now.
Listen, Ma, for the last time I asked you, all I want to do is be a fella.
Now, George, stop it. I'm ashamed of you.
Wait, where's Emily?
George, you give me such a scare.
Cheer up, Mom, getting married. Now, Mom, you say Thursday nights. Emily and I are coming over to dinner every Thursday night. You'll see. Mom, what are you crying for? Come on, we gotta get ready for this.
I've never felt so alone in my whole life. George over there, looking so... I hate him. I wish I were dead. Papa.
Emily, everything's all right.
But Papa, I don't want to get married.
Emily, you mustn't think of such things.
But Papa, why can't I stay for a while just as I am? Let's go away.
You're just nervous.
Don't you remember, Papa, all the time you used to say that I was your girl. There must be lots of places we can go to. I could work for you. I could keep house.
Think of such things. George, will you come over here a minute? Why, you're marrying the best young fellow in the world. George is a fine fellow.
But Papa...
I'm giving away my daughter, George. Do you think you can take care of her?
Mr. Webb, I want to. I want to try. Emily, I'm going to do my best. I love you. Emily, I need you.
If you love me, help me. All I want is someone to love me. And forever, do you hear? Forever and ever.
Come now. Now you know everything's going to be all right. Come quickly.
Do you, George, take this Emily to be your
Perfectly
wedding?
lovely wedding. Loveliest wedding I ever saw. Oh, you love a good wedding, don't you? Don't you, lovely bride?
I do.
Do you, Emily, take this man, George?
Don't know when I've been to such a nice wedding. Oh, you love a good wedding. I always cry. Don't know why it is, but I always cry. I guess I just like to see young people happy. Oh, isn't it lovely?
I've married over 200 couples in my day. Do I believe in it? I don't know. M marries N, millions of them. The go-kart, the cottage, the Sunday afternoon drive in the Ford, the first rheumatism, grandchildren, the second rheumatism, the deathbed, the reading of the will. Once in 1,000 times it's interesting. Well, let's have Mendelssohn's Wedding March.
Oh, and they're a lovely couple. I'm sure they'll be happy. I always say happy. That's the great thing. The important thing is to be happy.
That's the second act, folks. 10 minutes intermission. This time, 9 years have gone by, friends. Summer, 1930. Gradual changes in Grover's Corners. Horses are getting rare. Farmers are coming into town in Fords. Everybody locks their doors now at night. Ain't been any burglars yet, but everybody's heard about them. You'd be surprised. On the whole, things don't change much around here. This is certainly an important part of Grover's Corners. It's on a hilltop, a windy hilltop. Lots of sky, lots of clouds, often lots of sun and moon and stars. You come up here on a fine afternoon and you can see range on range of hills. Awful blue they are, up there by Lake Sunapee and Lake Winnipesaukee. And if you've got a glass, you can see all the way to the White Mountains and Mount Washington, where North Conway and Conway is. And of course our favorite mountain, Mount Monadnock, is right here. And all these towns that lie around it, Jaffrey and East Jaffrey and Peterborough and Dublin, and there, quite a ways down, is Grover's Corners. Yes, beautiful spot here, mountain laurel and lilacs. I often wonder why people like to be buried in Woodlawn or Brooklyn when they might pass the same time up here in New Hampshire. This here is the old part of the cemetery. 1670, 1680, strong-minded people come a long way to be independent. Summer folk walk around here and laugh at the funny words on tombstones. It don't do any harm. And genealogists come up from Boston, get paid by city folk for looking up their ancestors. They want to make sure that they're daughters of the American Revolution or of the Mayflower. I suppose that wouldn't be wrong either. Wherever you come near the human race, you'll find layers and layers of nonsense. Over here are some Civil War veterans, iron flags on their graves. New Hampshire boys had a notion that the Union ought to be kept together, though they'd never seen more than 50 miles of it themselves. All they knew was the name, friends, the United States of America. The United States of America. And they went and died about it. Over here is the new part of the cemetery. Here's your friend Mrs. Gibbs and Mr. Simon Stinson, organist of the Congregational Church. And let's see, Mrs. Soames, who enjoyed the wedding stuff. You remember. Oh, and a lot of others. Over here is Edward Webb's boy, Wallace, whose appendix burst while he was on a Boy Scout trip to Crawford Notch. Yes, an awful lot of sorrow has sort of quieted down up here. People just wild with grief have brought their relatives up to this spot. We all know how it is. And in time, in sunny days, in rainy days, in snow. We're all glad they're in a beautiful place, and we're coming up here ourselves when our fit's over. Now, there are some things that we all know, but we don't take them out and look at them very often. We all know that something is eternal. It ain't houses, and it ain't names, and it ain't earth, and it ain't even the stars. Everybody knows in their bones that something is eternal, and that something has to do with human beings. All the greatest people who ever lived have been telling us this for 5,000 years, and yet you'd be surprised how people are always losing hold of it. There's something way down deep about every human being that's eternal. You know as well as I do that the dead don't stay just as living people for very long. Gradually, they lose hold of earth and the ambitions they had, and the pleasures they had, and the things they suffered, and the people they loved. They get weaned away from earth. That's the way I put it. Weaned away. And they wait here while the earth part of them slowly burns away, burns out. They're waiting. They're waiting for something that they feel is coming. Something important and great. Aren't they waiting for the eternal part of them to come out clear? Some of the things that they're going to say maybe will hurt your feelings. But that's the way it is. Mother and daughter, husband and wife, enemy and enemy, money and miser. All those terribly important things kind of grow pale around you. And what's left when the memory's gone? And your identity, Mrs. Smith? Well, there's some living people. There's Joe Stoller, our undertaker, supervising the new Navy grade. And there's Grover's Corners boy who left town to go out west.
Good afternoon, Joe Stoddard.
Good afternoon, good afternoon. Let me see. Do I know you?
I'm Sam Craig.
Gracious sakes alive. Of all people. You should have known me back at the funeral. Where have you been, Sam?
I've been away over 12 years. But I'm in business in Buffalo now, Joe. But I was in the East when I got news of my cousin's death, so I thought I'd combine things a little and come see you at home. You look well.
Yes, can't complain. Very sad our journey today, Sam.
Yes.
I'd come here early today. My son's supervising at the home.
Why, this is old Farmer McCarty. I used to do chores for him. After school. He had the lumbago.
Yes, he brought Farmer Carter here a number of years ago.
Why, this is my Aunt Julia. I forgot that she, of course.
Yes, he brought Doc Gibbs' wife here a number of years ago. Around this time, today's another pretty bad blow for him, too.
That's my sister Carrie's boy. Sam Craig.
I'm always uncomfortable when they're around.
Simon.
Do they choose their own verses much, Joe?
No, not usually. Mostly the beret would pick a verse.
Doesn't sound like Aunt Julia. There aren't many of those Hershey sisters left now. Now let's see. I wanted to look at my father's and mother's.
Over there among the crags. Avenue F.
He was the organist of church, wasn't he? Drank a lot, we used to say.
Nobody's supposed to know about it. He himself in pack of trouble. Took his own life, you know.
Oh, did he?
Yes, hung himself up in the attic. They tried to hush it up, but of course got around. Shows his own epitaph, you know. It ain't a verse exactly.
Why, it's just some notes of music. What does it mean?
I don't know. It was written up in files and papers at the time.
Joe, what did she die of?
Who?
My cousin.
Oh, don't you know? She died bringing a baby into this world. Twice her second. She has a boy, 4 years old.
And she'll be buried here?
Yes, here among the Gibbses. Now if you excuse me, the seatbelts are coming.
Who is it, Julia? My daughter-in-law, Emily Webb. Well, I declare, the road must have been awful lead. What did she die of, Julia? In childbirth. Child. I'd forgotten all about that. My, wasn't life awful? Wonderful.
Wonderful, was it?
Simon, I remember his wedding. Wasn't it a lovely wedding? I remember her reading the class at home at graduation exercise. Emily was one of the brightest girls ever to graduate high school. I heard Principal Wilkins say so time after time. I stopped by her new farm just before I left. Perfectly wonderful farm.
It's on the same road we lived on. Yep, right smart farm. Always liked that though. So been singing it.
Hello. Hello.
Hello, Miss Gibbs.
Hello, Mother Gibbs. Emily. Hello. It's raining. Yes, though we've gone soon here. Just rest yourself. It seems thousands and thousands of years since I... Oh, hello, Wally. Hello. Mom and Papa were devastated and died. I missed you too.
Must be the time it binds. Wasn't there here again?
Yes, Papa remembered. What will they do now? Oh, I wish I'd been here a long time. I don't like being new here. How do you do, Mr. Stinson?
How do you do, Emily?
Mother Gibbs. George and I have made that farm into just the best place you ever saw. We thought of you all the time. We wanted to show you the new barn and the great cement drinking fountain for the stock. We got that out of the money you left us. I did? Don't you remember, Mother Gibbs? The legacy you left us? Why, it was over $350. Oh, yes. Yes, Emily. Well, there's a patent device on the drinking fountain so that it never overflows, Mother Gibbs. And it never sinks below a certain mark they have there. It's fine. It won't be the same to George without me. But it's a lovely farm. A lot of people just don't understand, do they? No, dear, not very much. They're sort of shut up in little boxes, aren't they? Seems like I knew them last 1,000 years ago. My little boy spending the day at Mrs. Carter's. Oh, Mr. Carter, my little boy spending the day at your house. Is he? Oh, yes, he loves it there. Mother gives me the Ford, too. Never gives me trouble. I don't drive them. Mother gives. When does this feeling go away? Of being one of them? How long is it? Dear, just wait and be patient. I know. Look, they're finished. They're going. Look. Father Gibbs is bringing some of my flowers to you. He looks just like George, doesn't he? Father Gibbs, I never realized how troubled and how in the dark life persons are. Look at him. I loved him so. From morning till night. That's all they are. Troubled.
Little cooler than it was. Yes, that rain's cooled off a little.
Those northeast winds always do the same thing, don't they? If it isn't a rain, 3-day blow. But, Mother Gibbs, one can go back there again, into Libby. I know it. I feel it. Why, just think for a minute. I was thinking about Bog Farm, and for a minute I was there, and my baby was on my lap as plain as day. Yes, of course you can. I can go and live all those days over again. Why not? All I can say is, Emily, don't. Don't do it, Emily. It's not what you think it would be. But it's true, isn't it? I can go and live back there again.
Yes. Some have tried, but they soon come back here.
Don't do it, Emily. But I won't choose a sad day. I'll choose a happy one. I'll choose the day I first knew that I loved George. Why should that be painful?
You not only live it, but you watch yourself living.
Yes.
And as you watch it, you see the thing that they, down there, never know. You see the future. You know it's going to happen afterwards.
But is that painful? Why? It's not the only reason why you shouldn't do it, Emily. When you've been here long
longer, you'll see that our life here is to forget all that and think only of what's ahead and be ready for what's ahead. When you've been here longer, you'll understand. But Mother Gibbs, how could I ever forget that life? It's all I know. It's all I had.
Don't do it, Emily. Really, it isn't wise.
But it's something I must know for myself. I'll choose a happy day anyway. At least choose an important day. Choose the least important day of your life. It will be important to them. Well, that it can't be since I was married, since the baby's born. I can choose a birthday at least, can't I? I choose my 12th birthday.
All right. February 11th, 1899. It's a Tuesday. Do you want any special time of day?
Oh, I want the whole day.
We'll begin at dawn. You remember it had been snowing for several days, but it had stopped the night before, and they had begun clearing the roads. The sun's coming up.
Oh, there's Main Street. And there's Mr. Morgan's drugstore before he changed it. And there's the livery stable. Oh, this is the town I knew as a little girl.
Yes, it's 1899. This is 14 years ago.
There's the old white fence that used to be around our house. Oh, I'd forgotten that. Oh, I love it so. Are they inside?
Yes, your mother will be coming downstairs and then to make breakfast.
Will she?
And you remember, your father had been away for several days. He'd come back on the early morning train.
No.
He'd been back to his college to make a speech in western New York at Clinton.
There's Howie Newsom. And there's our policeman. But he's dead. He died.
Whoa, Bessie, whoa. Morning, Bill.
Morning, Howard.
You're up early.
Been rescuing a party down by Polish Town there. Got drunk and lay out in the snow drifts. Thought he was in bed when I shook him.
There's Joe Crowell.
Good morning, Mr. Warden. Morning, Howard.
Children, Wally, Emily, time to get up.
Oh, Mama. Mama, I'm here. Oh, look how young Mama looks. I didn't know Mama was ever that young.
You can come and dress by the kitchen fire if you like, but hurry. Good morning, Mr. Newsom. Oh, it's cold.
10 below by my barn, Mrs. Webb.
Think of it. Keep yourself wrapped up.
Mama, I can't find my blue hair anywhere.
Just open your eyes, dear, that's all. I laid it out for you special, on the dresser there. If it were a snake, it would bite you.
Yes. Yes.
Good morning, Bill.
Good morning, Mr. Webb. You're up early.
Yes, just been away to my old college in New York State. Everything all right here?
Yes. Some fellow got drunk and lay out in the snow drifts down by Polish Town. Darn near froze to death.
We must get it in the paper.
Papa.
Good morning, Mother.
How did it go, Charles?
Oh, fine, I guess. I told him a few things. Everything all right here?
Yes, can't think of anything that's happened special. Been right cold. Howie Newsom says it's 10 below over to his barn.
Well, it's colder than that at Hamilton College. Students' ears are falling off. It ain't Christian. Paper have any mistakes in it?
None that I noticed. Charles, don't forget, it's Emily's birthday. Did you remember to get her something?
Yes, I have something here. Where's my girl? Where's my birthday girl?
Don't interrupt her now, Charles. She's slow enough as it is. Hurry up, children. It's 7 o'clock. Now, I don't want to call you again.
I can't bear it. They're all so young and beautiful. Why do they ever have to get old? Mama, I'm here. I'm grown up. I love you all, everything. I can't look at everything hard enough. Good morning, Mama.
Well, now, dear. A very happy birthday to my girl and many happy returns. There's some surprises waiting for you on the table.
Oh, Mama, you shouldn't have.
But birthday or no birthday, I want you to eat your breakfast good and slow. I want you to grow up and be a good, strong girl. That and the blue papers from your Aunt Carrie. And I reckon you can guess who brought it for the postcard album. Must have come over in the cold pretty early. George Gibbs. Right nice of him.
Oh, George, I'd forgotten that.
Chew that bacon good and slow. It'll keep you warm on a cold day. found among your grandmother's things in the attic. You're old enough to wear it now, and I thought you'd like it.
And this is from you. Oh, Mom, it's beautiful, and it's just what I wanted. It's lovely.
Well, I'd hoped you'd like it. Hunt it all over. Your Aunt Nora couldn't find one in Concord, so we had to send all the way to Boston. Wally has something for you, too. He made it in manual training class. Don't know what it is myself. Your father has something for you, too. Sure. Here it comes.
Where's my girl? Where's my birthday girl?
I can't go on! It goes so fast! We don't have time to look at one another! I didn't realize. So all that was going on and you never noticed. Take me back. Up the hill to my grave. First, wait, one more look. Goodbye. Goodbye, world. Goodbye, Grover's Corners. Mama and Papa. Goodbye, clocks ticking. And Mama's sunflowers. And food. And coffee. And fresh iron dresses. And hot baths. Oh, world, you're too wonderful for anybody to realize you. Do any human beings actually realize life while they live it? Every minute?
No. The saints and the poets maybe. They do so.
I'm ready to go back.
What happened?
No, I should have listened to you. That's all human beings are. Just blind people.
Look, it's clearing up. The stars are coming out.
Oh, Mr. Stimson, I should have listened to them.
Yes, now you know. Now you know. That's what it was to be alive, to live out in a cloud of ignorance. To go up and down, trampling on the feelings of those about you. To spend and waste time as though you had a million years to live. To always be at the mercy of one's self-centered passion or another. Yes, now you know. That's the happy existence you want to go back to. Ignorance and blindness.
Simon Stimson. That ain't the whole truth if you know it. Look at that star, Emily. I forget its name.
My boy Joel is a sailor. You sit on the foresheets and tell him all by name. Yes, sir. Wonderful.
The star's mighty good company.
Yes, it is.
Here's one of them coming.
That's funny. Sailors aren't coming over here.
Goodness sakes.
No, my kids, it's George.
They just got yourself.
It's George. My boy Joel knew the stars. He used to say it took millions of years to have speck-lights against the earth. Don't seem like a body can believe it. That's what he used to say. Millions of years.
Goodness, there ain't no way to behave.
Mother kids? Yes, Sally? They don't understand, do they?
No, dear. They don't understand.
Most everybody's asleep in Grover's Corners. There are a few lights on. Shorty Hawkins down at People has just watched the Albany train go by, and at the livery stable somebody's setting up lead top. Yes, it's clearing up. There are the stars doing their old crisscross journeys in the sky. Scholars haven't settled on the matter yet, but they seem to think that there are no living beings up there. Just chalk or fire. Only this one is straining away. Straining away all the time to make something of itself. It strains so bad that every 16 hours everybody lies down and gets a rest. 11 o'clock in Grover's Corners. You get a good rest too. Good night.